Just the slow head turn. It was like super awkward.
Hi guys, welcome back. So we're here again this week with Garret Cerkvenik of 𝙏𝙗𝙖𝙩'𝙨 Mortgage. And this week we're going to talk about how being self-employed impacts qualifying for a home loan. So Garret, can you touch on that?
Absolutely. So self-employment, still has to meet the same basic requirements for a home loan as far as credit, debt-to-income ratio, down payment, things like that.
Okay.
The big thing is going to be how we are calculating income. When you're self-employed, obviously the goal is to pay as little in taxes as possible, right?
So you write everything off.
You write everything off. Unfortunately, when you're qualifying for a loan, that's going to have a negative impact on you. The government says if you're not going to pay taxes on this amount of money, we're not going to let you use it for a mortgage. So I'm going to be looking at your net taxable income to qualify. And there's a few things that we can add back into that. If you take a depreciation deduction, if you have a deduction for business use of home, things like that.
Okay.
So I can add some of those back in. And then beyond that, beyond the actual calculation itself, it's really about what documentation I need. For a W-2 employee, I typically look at pay stubs. For self-employed, I'm going to look at your last 2 years' tax returns.
Okay.
COVID added another layer to that where we also need to show 3 months of business bank statements to prove solvency, and then also have a year-to-date profit and loss on top of that. But some of those requirements are starting to disappear now that we're getting farther and farther into COVID and things are loosening up a bit.
Okay, great. And is there a difference in documentation that you need depending on what type of business, like a sole proprietorship or an LLC?
There are, yes. So for a Schedule C, for instance, or a sole proprietorship, you file a Schedule C with your taxes, and I only need your personal taxes because everything is going to show up on that Schedule C that I need to qualify correctly. If you have an LLC, in a lot of cases, I also need business tax returns, and we're looking for things on the business returns that are going to flow to your personal, and still able to add back some of the same deductions like depreciation, but it's just a little bit more documentation in that case.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for being here again. Really appreciate it, and
great
info. Don't forget to tune in next week, and then hit that subscribe button and the like button. Let me know what you think in the comments.